We're now being joined live by veteran journalist Mr. Terrell Liu Jones from California. Is currently teaching international journalism at Claremont McKenna College. So thank you so much for joining us on the show.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Military-to-military communications, that's perhaps been one of the major outcomes of this meet between the two leaders. How do you see communication and cooperation progressing on that front?
Well, it's quite crucial between two superpowers. Even Russia and the United States maintain basically a military hotline for not so much over Ukraine, but over issues in Syria. And there are so many parts of the world where tensions with China could overflow, not just the South China Sea or Taiwan, but elsewhere on the continent, and so including over the North American continent, as we saw by the alleged spy balloon affair earlier this year. So such contacts are crucial and essential to be able to restrain things if they start to get heated, and to prevent certain confrontations from spreading to wider conflict. And so it seems only natural that such communications should be reestablished.
Of course, issues do persist. This is just the first meeting after a long period of heightened tensions. President Xi Jinping was direct in his disapproval of the United States' ties with Taiwan, asking United States squarely to stop arming Taiwan. How do you think the two sides will be able to maintain channels of communication while also being mindful of the differences that do persist, especially given that polls in Taiwan are inching closer?
Yeah, I think the United States would just prefer that the situation regarding Taiwan stay the way it is now, maintain the status quo, and put off discussion of a reunification of China indefinitely, reunification between Taiwan and China. It's a tough quandary because, as you noted, Xi Jinping has declared that he wants to reunite Taiwan with the greater China, mainland China, by 2027, only 4 years from now. And so, that if, whoever the next U.S. president is, that's going to happen on during that administration. And so it's a question that whoever is the president in the United States is going to have to think very carefully about. Are we going to continue to sell these modern arms to Taiwan, which the U.S. is kind of bound to by Taiwan Relations Act and other just past diplomatic history, or is the U.S. going to try to negotiate some compromise between China and Taiwan? I mean, it's hard to imagine how the United States might carry that out, but Taiwan is going to be the main and probably increasing thorn in the relationship over the coming years.
All right, so clearly a lot of kinks to be ironed out still. Now, the other major outcome of this meet was the agreement on fentanyl, the powerful narcotic that has triggered the rampant drug crisis in the United States. China has agreed to curb its production sharply. What's your take on the apparent progress that the two sides seem to have made during these talks?
Well, it is definitely progress. I mean, this is one of the main domestic social issues and tragedies in the United States, the deaths of largely young people because of fentanyl, either taking it deliberately or accidentally because it's mixed in with other drugs. And it's almost out of control. What can the United States do? Much of it is coming in through Mexico, but the ingredients are largely coming from China. So if that can actually be stopped, and if China is willing and carries through on agreement to try to bring an end to that kind of export, that's huge. I mean, that's really enormous news for the United States and regarding the serious drug problem that we have here. Whether China actually follows through or is able to follow through, we'll have to see over the coming years. But it's certainly encouraging to have had a dialogue about that.
All right, Mr. Jones, thank you so much for joining us on WION with all your insights on this.
You're welcome.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.